What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day. In this video today, I wanted to talk about a couple of EV stocks. We're going to get into Nio, Tesla, ChargePoint, and Workhorse. And we're also going to look over the SPY real quick, and I'll give you my thoughts there. And first off, let's look at the SPY. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You know the drill. Let's get into it. And looking at the SPY, you'll see on the longer term, we are still in a free fall. Although we did have a nice little pop today, it is starting to curl and turn back around. We'll see if we push our way back to this upside of this trend here, this like $400 area, or if we just fall from here and come and create new lows. I do think we're going to fill this gap. And zooming in, you'll see that we have this gap from 371 down to about 368. Very likely in the coming days to me that we will fill that gap. And while we might still have a little pop in store, while we might have a little bit of a run up, I think it is going to be short-lived and we are going to continue in this downtrend. Now, of course, some news could come out that can just completely change that. Maybe we get some great CPI numbers. That's going to be important to watch. That should be coming out in a couple days. And of course, any more news of what the Fed's going to do, obviously that can change the trajectory of where the SPY goes. But I'm still personally biased to the downside. And obviously it matters what Apple's doing as well. And Apple's been trending down as well. I do think both of these are going to come down a bit more before they find some support and start turning back around for good. Now, getting into the 5 EV stocks, first off, I wanted to go over ChargePoint. It went on a nice run the last couple of days. It just took about all of it back. I can definitely see it coming down, finding support here at this 15 before going further. We did just recently fill this gap. It could be turning around from here. And one thing that's really good to see still is it is holding this purple line, this ascending support. This was its May 11 low, and it's been trending up since then, has been respecting the support. This is going to continue to be an important level to watch. If we break this, we're down for some lower levels, likely to come test 1450, could even come down from there considerably. So you're really going to want to watch this purple support line. But I'm still definitely bullish on ChargePoint for the long term. They continue to impress in terms of revenue. And surprisingly, you know, while the larger market is dropping, creating new recent lows, ChargePoint is still just about double from its May 11 low. Very interesting. Now, looking at Nio, you'll see that it's been downtrending since late June, and you're going to want to see a test of this channel in either direction. We either come and create new recent lows, come and bounce off of this, or we come up here towards 18, find resistance or break out of it. But be aware, we did have a breakout. It wasn't long lasting. Tried to bounce off of it as support, just couldn't hold and failed. And another trend for you to watch is this descending channel. I do think a breakout of this can cause a potential breakout of this one. But as for Nio, same thing. We haven't seen a new low since May 11. Very interesting. I think that's very telling that, you know, this was around $11, $12 on May 11. We're still at 15. Despite that, the sentiment is just extremely negative. It's almost as negative as when we were at those lows. We are not at the lows. So that is one interesting thing that I've been seeing with a lot of stocks, even cryptos. You know, people are just so negative in sentiment, but many of these haven't even come near their lows. I personally see Nio right now as a great time to DCA. I still have my position in this one, and this is one Chinese stock that I will have. But I'm keeping my risks low, and this is pretty much the only one that I'm giving myself exposure to. Next up, I wanted to mention Tesla. I don't have a position in this one. I bought this back pre-split around 400, ran it up to around 800, didn't take the whole run to 12, took profit around 800, got out completely from 800 to 900. And looking at it now, it is starting to look attractive. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. Be aware that their earnings is coming out here towards the end of October, 19th of October, according to TradingView. And I think it's definitely likely that this comes and tests $200. It is obviously still in a downtrend. I would watch this yellow channel here, this descending channel. And you have to think, even where it's at, it's over $600 pre-split technically. You know, only a couple years ago, Tesla was at 400 pre-split. So even with the pullback to 200, it's still sitting at $600. It's still at a huge gain from a few years ago. So can it come down under 200, even potentially come to 150? I think that's definitely possible. But I do think that around $200 is where I would start nibbling at it, is where it would be a good time to start entering again on Tesla. Knowing that it can potentially fall further, considerably further from there if the overall market does continue to tank. But at some point for some of these long-term stocks that you like, you have to decide, okay, when am I actually going to pull the trigger and start adding? And I think around this point would be the time. And next up, looking at Workhorse, this one did break its trend, found resistance on it as well. We can definitely fall further, at the very least test 250. And on a break of 260, it's very likely we're going to come down and test 250. If we fail from that, we're likely to come down to 210, 211. And keep an eye on this pattern as well. We do have a descending resistance, and this support here as well, we will likely tighten up and then blast off either direction. Not sure which, but you're going to want to watch a movement out of either of these trend lines here. But that's basically it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this short video. Which of these stocks are you looking at? Which to you seem like the best deal out there right now? Is it something not on this list? Let me know down below in the comments. Thanks as always, guys, and take it easy.